bring out policies which the authority will be following, and then handle any other duties incidental to it.
Okay. And we believe that you will do that very well.
Of course.
All right, let's come to the issue of waste management in Anambra State. In your own assessment, you've seen what is playing out in Anambra State and how people throw out waste indiscriminately. How would you actually rate that kind of behavior, the behavior of Anambra people when it comes to managing their waste?
Well, although we are concentrating on waste, but the entire populace needs value reorientation, because we don't value most of the services government render. But for waste, you'll find that there are common dumps in urban areas, especially in urban areas. You can still find them in some rural areas. And when you go to those places, you'll find that people just bring out their waste and go to that common area and then say, government, take it. I'm no longer concerned. And then when government comes to take it and you ask him to pay, then he begins to quarrel. When he doesn't know that the service has been rendered. So that is exactly the thing.
Okay, when it comes to managing of waste now, when you are going through the expressway, you notice that you see some people dumping their refuse in the middle of the express and all that. And I remember that there were times the Aswama boss said that those kind of things will no longer be tolerated in Anambra State. So are there new policies or things, ways Aswama is trying to see that they collect this waste and collect it properly without it littering everywhere?
Yes, presently, government has engaged 31 contractors that will do the work in 31 zones that has been demarcated by the authority. Now, each zone is handled by a contractor. If you see what we are doing now is to make sure that we cut out everything, anything that is waste on the road or at a place that required. So these are the things we are doing now. After that, we go house to house so that you now personalize the service.
Okay.
When you personalize the service, the person or the household now sees the need for you to pay, for them to pay. Because when you don't personalize the service and he throws the waste in a common dump, he will tell you, you people should go there and take it. I'm not concerned.
Okay, just like what we are seeing on the screen now, because
Yes.
they went to actually the first picture.
This
Yes.
is the kind of thing I'm talking about.
Okay.
This we call a common dump, which most of them are illegal.
Oh, yes.
So if somebody starts something and there are 3 or 4 heaps of refuse there, then everybody now begins
Exactly.
So most of those places were not demarcated by the authority.
Okay, talking about when going door to door now, personalizing it, that will require that people will now have to pay some kind of levies for that to be done. So how do you intend to do that? Because we know, especially, let's use Oka for example, we know that there are people living in inside in remote places. And how do you plan to, collect the levies as the government, making it easier for people maybe to pay through a particular portal or to the banks?
The present government has said that no money will be collected for any service by hand. No money by anybody. So there's a common portal. If you go, let's call it acid number, they generate for you. With that number you pay, you can use your phone, you can use POS, you can go to the bank. But the point is that nobody is authorized to collect money by hand. Every money goes to a common basket in the state. But everybody knows his portion of the funds inside the basket.
Okay. Then again, let's look at, I had a story sometimes, some people harassing people in Obosi the side, saying they are a member of ANSEPA, the old ANSEPA, collecting money from people, telling them that it's for waste management living. So I want you to talk about that.
Yes, we also had it. And, people were offering direct services before. That is, they were engaged with streets and households. So government gave them authority to be collecting money that time. But now, what government is saying is that will no longer hold. That it is only specifically the funds that go to the common purse that can be tolerated. So nobody is authorized to go and ring bell or do any other thing to go and collect money from anybody. It's a fraud by these people. And they know that what they are doing is illegal. And if the authority catches that kind of person, then he will know that government is in place.
Okay, now, if we start collecting these levies and all that, so how would we know, like, for example, I living in a 2-bedroom flat?
Yes.
How will I know the amount I'm going to pay at the end of the day as my waste management levy?
Okay, there's always a demand notice.
Okay. Demand
notice is inside the law. So if you get Aswama law, you see it. You see what you're expected to pay. So the task before the present government now, the president of Aswama, is to make sure that everybody has knowledge of that law, so that including the fees or levies to be collected. So what we normally do is to generate a demand notice. If we give you the demand notice, inside it you see the amount you are supposed to pay. And demand notice is online generated. It's no longer manual.
So I wonder, those people that are not that don't have access to internet, so how are they going to know how much they are going to pay?
No, the demand notice will be sent to them.
Okay, to their
yes,
homes.
one by one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's know who we have here this morning. Hello, good morning. Please reduce the volume of your TV set.
Good morning.
Good morning. Tell us your name and your location.
Okay, my name is Moses, MC Global.
MC Global. Okay, go ahead, Moses. Where are you calling us from?
Yeah. From Obotu.
All right, go ahead, Moses.
Yeah. Because I'm sorry, but I'm the mother of that.
So bye bye again.
Okay. Because I am making an organ on a video.
Dalu.
The manager.
Dalu.
Because I don't talk they make and the mother malo. This was there and a bit of road. The problem one of women about that about the and a bit was no this cousin Jana otherwise I don't want to. I'm a mama and I don't know about it never yet. So ever guy Abadana because now after going to that now the best level dinner Raja if you are a kitchen on the
check our jog out.
On what I ekeketa. On what I make to households keta. In a good about when you in this scavenger, January be a bewine. Corner common dump in a
when we heard you.
Problem, when not whatever. You get back, that one is no more whatever. If you're not about that, I was here. What on your money?
Okay.
So now, eating all our race, and never. Like bad in my neck of the nether, and that the last bit are not done.
All right.
Dalurine.
Dalo ayan gunyabo complaint on and kebezoku boy eba na fokale abuna de eba this common dom ke na fokale na adowase awelo na eme olo na afialo ndi na egbo afifiaro. Hello, good morning. Okay, please, if you want to call us, open each other, why you step away from your TV set or you reduce the volume very well. Nyabo why kai we na anu ihe na-ekwu ofuma. Lote na ika nene banya na nyabo ihe gbasalo otu esi ekpo afia na obodo ya ba Anambra State. Ima no okene olo de lonyo obuna. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
It's Godwin Okoye. I'm calling from Oka.
Godwin Okoye from Oka. Go ahead. Nasubao.
Okay. You can let the West Management.
Dalo.
Good morning.
Dalo.
You can let them actually on here. Eventually, this area was a oh, even a meketa. The guy is local seller. Apple pop, the jade apple pop, the Anambra. Ghana has no legacy from wisdom. In what you have the economy of the world today. Before now, what is Natalia going to suffer? And then what is happening at the last minute, like Sri Lanka. They follow high tax. A place on people. We will revolt, we will protest. Then they ended up at the White House of the president of the White So you go, even myself to Akabo. All night, I get England. They can do a channel to see him. While I'm the buying a thousand. Or come night I could want to leave this good buy.
In summary, where he choice because I am was the time.
Eventually, he plays the high taxes on citizens, on the money. Because the Nata foreign neketa, many people are not no cities.
All right. Dalorin Nemana. Dalorin Nemana Obrabo, Ihai Neku Makiata. I had the Apamaka taxes, Ihai Nekubu, Etwisi, Ebu 5 ya, Notai Gesu, and Yalaka, de Kainwa Bondi Anambra, Yakwalandia Swamaka, Kanya buy Fene, Bukene, we of Makoya Lebunke, Apota, Madu Ketchisia, Fifia Mobile, Ufodopota, he just bullying, Utohane, Buena, bucket mobile, Yene, Dustbin, I believe just Jawunia Ba, Chen and Dine buy Fia Bros in Madu. Hello? Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Your name and your location.
I'm fine. I'm from
Ifeanyi, Gawani. Yes, Obagon already.
Okay. So, yeah, but I know I'm a bit. I see when I'm about to water tree or something like that nature.
Sanitation levy, yes.
Or by local government.
Door to door. I get what I beg you. And I get notice. Go nega now.
Okay. So it does mean I know just something I think I just don't get any rule after.
Ikechie ye onwe nylon na ekesa seketa iwele akechie ye idobia na irubegi abunara na na akwụ ụgwọ apụta ebulie mana onye isi nọ na studio ga-akọwakwa ya ọfụma.
Okay, mana ihe nwa na-akọwa na-akpọ n'ime ọka na ndị otie ka ka esi wenye ya ka dọtí na onye isi wenye ndị ahụ.
Nyarapụzie na anyị nke
ọ dị mma ọ dị ka ọ chọọ isi n'ọnụ gị wee nụ ya biko kọwale anya ọfụma.
Ife mere na itegukwana ife mebiri ewe na-edozi edozi. So what we intend to do now is to start distributing these bags to everybody. In fact, that was why I asked that question, whether it was only those bags tied at the dump.
The common dump.
Yes, that people go to tear. Because what we intend to do maybe from next week is to make sure that all these dumps will not be there. So the scavengers will not find anywhere unless they go to somebody's place. Because they will now be placed in front of people's houses. The contractor will agree with the neighborhood. Number of times he will come in the week to cut them away. The contractor will only cut away those who pay sanitation fee. And this sanitation fee has been here since 2015. So it's not the person talking about tax and not tax. This thing has been there. We have not added 1 naira to it. Of course, the thing is in the law. So if you want to increase the fees, you have to go to the House of Assembly. And when you go, they say no.
Okay. Right now, we want to take a short break because we have a message for you. Stay with us.
Refuse don't normally constitute nuisance any longer because it is converted to renewable energy. There are a lot of companies. I'm glad our governor, Professor Charles Soludo, is an internationally traveled man. He knows all these things. This is a thing he can do. Invite companies. In the last administration, there has been a company I know very much about that came and gave a proposal that what they just need from the last administration was to give them the license to manage refuse disposal in Anambra State and give them a dump site where they will dump this refuse, then convert it to energy, which in turn they can sell and make revenue, with which they will even still pay Anambra State government some taxes. So these are things that are done all over the world. So it's very simple. So the governor should concentrate more on getting companies that work with waste, convert it to energy. Is even less, is cheaper. It's cheaper to dispose because the government doesn't have to pay. The people don't have to pay. They take the refuse from wherever it is, take it to their site, given by the government, approved and given by the government. Then they convert it to renewable energy. Now they sell to the public who may want to use. So with this, you see, you even start seeing people hoarding their waste in order to sell to the company willing to convert it to energy, which they will now sell. So it's very simple. Our leaders are just, I don't know, let me not use some words that are not good for the press, but then our leaders know all these things. What does the citizen gain from the government by paying taxes? Like me, my taxes are deducted from the source. So if I pay tax, pay as you earn, and at the end of the day, I generate waste, I still have to pay for the waste disposal, I still have to pay for electricity, I still have to pay toll in the toll gate, I still have to pay for whatever, anything I do. So what is the government's responsibility to the citizen in return of the taxes we pay? Meaning nothing, we get nothing. So, but then if like I said, if that's going to solve our problem, no problems, we'll pay.
I think it's better the way they're doing it before, other than now. So the idea of everybody paying, I don't know whether it will go well. I don't know the way people will see it. Many people will not agree to pay because things are hard now. People are finding it difficult even to eat. They talk of paying for refuse disposal. I don't know.
Whichever way the government feels the menace can be combated, we should support it, because if you look around the state now, everywhere is filled with refuse. In developed places, these wastes are being recycled and used for producing so many things. So if the government of Professor Charles Soludo can key in such venture, we will support him, even if it brings about we paying, or you understand, we will support it, because we are not comfortable again. Refuse dumps are blocking the roads, or the other is something else.
If they are able to do their work, maybe every week or 2 times in a week, they pack out the ones that are there. At least people can be able to see free, that's the container that is being used to pack. At least if they are taking it off every weekend or 2 times in 2 weeks, something like that, at least be neat. So the government should know what they should do about it. The government should, I don't think the citizens have to pay, because things are hard now. So in that aspect, I don't think the citizens are meant to pay for it.
It has come to the notice of Aswama Board that some unscrupulous elements in Onitsha Axis, Omamba Phase 1 and 2 and Obosi Urban are moving about asking unsuspecting individuals to pay their ANSEPA fee by hand to them. While regretting this, the board wants to inform the public that no government agency in charge of sanitation is known by that name, ANSEPA, in the state. Moreover, the present Saludo government has since prohibited the collection of any levy by hand, as it has directed all payments to be directly made to the bank through Pay Direct online platforms. By this, all persons concerned are requested to pay their sanitation levy online directly in any of the banks. Aswama warns all perpetrators who use whatever name to defraud the people to desist forthwith, or else the long arm of the law will surely catch up with them. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. Signed, Aswama Board.
All right, you're welcome back to the program. I hope that everybody that is listening or watching us this morning heard that announcement from the Aswama Board. And now we still have the chairman of the Governing Council right here with us in the studio. And now we've seen how this present administration is trying to sanitize Anambra State, especially when it comes to waste management. We really appreciate that effort. But once again, I wanted to stress the need of people paying their taxes, especially the sanitation levy, to the appropriate place, not just giving it to the people that are parading themselves as agents from the government.
Thank you. You see the announcement from our office. That announcement was as a result of people calling us that there are so many people still collecting this sanitation levy by hand. And I recall that sometime the governor of Anambra State called market leaders and so many other landlords and the rest of them and informed them that we will start now paying these levies online. Even he's proposing that a car going into, or a bus going into the park, we just slot in a token at the gate and then the lever will open. So if you have not paid your park fee, the keke or the bus cannot go. So we are now starting, in fact, what we are doing now is the basics, the basics. The basics in the sense that in the future arrangement, what we are going to do is to make sure that even before the end of the month, your bill goes personally to you in your phone. But you asked a question for those who are hard to reach, especially with the phone. What we are doing now is to get small community units, community committees, now to help us make sure that people can use POS or their phone to transmit these levies. Because the important thing is that so many people have carved an empire and were enriching themselves anyhow. In the past administration, there's one thing you'll be hearing, this window, that window. This window has been open for me. That window. The present governor has said all those windows closed. There is no more window. We have to pass through the door. So that is what we are doing now.
All right.
Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and your location.
Yeah, my name is Chinedu from Nigo.
All right, Chinedu, go ahead.
Yeah, please, I would like to make a suggestion. One, I was passing through one of these areas where they dump refuse along those demarcations on the road. And I found out that some people will even carry those bags as if they are crossing over they are not getting. They will just drop it there and leave it. So I'm suggesting if they employ people that will monitor those people anybody that is dropping dirty along those roads will be arrested. That's one. Then another thing is enforcement. One problem we have in this country is enforcement. If you say people are going to drop their pay so that the collectors will come to their houses and collect, and it is those that pay that will be that their refuse will be collected, they will never find another. They will not pay, or rather they will try to find another place where they will be dumping this thing on their road. So I would suggest everybody pay. Whether if you pay, your own will not be collected. But enforce and make sure that everybody pays. So that at the end of the day, all they need to do is to go out to house and collect the refuse. Don't give people need to charge. If you don't pay, then we will collect you. When we find out that everybody will not pay, they will now find another way of another place of dumping those refugees. So that's my take and suggestion.
All right.
The government for what they are doing. You understand?
All right, thank you so much. That was a nice suggestion, talking about it's not just only people that actually pay their leave out. Their refuge will be collected. What about those that don't pay? What will happen to theirs?
Well, if you don't pay, we're setting up an enforcement structure now. If you don't pay, one, your refuse will be collected, but it will be noted in our platform that you have not paid. When next the collectors may come, what will happen is that you are given small fine that you have not paid the other one. So, because what we want to do now is to ensure that people see this as service government is rendering to them specifically, not Ijekwa in the main road, but Afia Nekokita we are own. Because in the main road there will be collective thing. So that is what we intend to do. But before then, we want to mount a very serious sensitization. Before we become so so hard on them, we'll have to mount a lot of sensitization. In fact, tomorrow we are meeting with a lot of groups, so to sensitize them, so that they go back to their group and then tell them this is what we are doing.
Okay, that will be a very nice one, because people need to understand what is on ground now.
They
And
need
we
to
have started the sensitization right here this morning on ABS TV, and it continues even to the churches, to markets. The sensitization continues, because that's the most important thing. You need to know the move that the government, the steps that the government are taking now to see that they sanitize the state, Anambra State, and then you know what you need to do, because it's a collective responsibility, just like we are discussing this morning. All right. Let's know he's here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and your location. Go ahead. Gabaniru, the BC.
President government in charge with Arabima. Mana every organized the chairman, whoever snag in the community health, gas from labor area. Mana I might go on board. The type of institutional line over Banyelu, no religion, like it on whatever other things. In Ghana, over the community, my main indigenous community will not pay. After I'm going to be.
All right.
Make a show and be born and go to the other now. I can't even know for they ban a wood, but they ban it to be a new year. So here comes the baby. You should not go to the air. I'm not going to make a show everybody now. We are not all for the poor as non community amount, because you may employ most of this community number 1 and 4. In fact, because one name no and no one look for law allowed to the Kuya Mar.
Dalo. I am going hopeful. That's a good suggestion. But then again, Imana, this mantra of if you see something, say something. I think that is applicable there too. So, anyhow, the mad like non-bag drop and the mad we keep will report to some of the culprits.
Yes, by next week we'll send numbers to media houses. And then we are going to have zonal centers in the 3 senatorial districts so that it not become close to people. It's not when somebody from Umunze wants a problem, it can come into occur. In fact, eventually we're going to hand it down to the local government areas. Then this issue of community is very important because you need, like what the last caller was saying, you need to ensure that communities take ownership, that this is their thing. In fact, the government is trying to help them to live without diseases and sicknesses. So these are the things that are going to come up in the message that we're going to send.
Okay, and then again, how can people identify the genuine workers of the those people that are coming to pack the refuse? Because now we are not looking at people that are not those people that will come and serve the notice and probably serve you the fine that you have been if you fail to pay your own levy, that's your own monthly sanitation levy, just like you explained earlier, that you will be served a fine.
We have that workers will be using up and down, and people can still go and make their own, but we know that we have put in some security checks inside it, so that if you wear your, we go and check whether that thing is there.
All right. Hello.
Hello, good morning, man.
From where?
Calling from Congress.
All right, go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello? And then my question is this, your government will ask for a citizen to pay for a tax for waste products. And decide that they pay for electricity and they pay for the pay tax. So what is the government responsibility for the citizens of the state?
All right. Thank you so much for that, your question.
Yes. Government has so many responsibilities, too many of them. And you know that there are people working for government. Some of us are paid from government posts. And the governor of Anambra State has been saying that since December, NNPC has not generated any fund into the common posts that are normally distributed to states. So you see that states now rely on this local tax. And even though that these things seem to be coming new to us because we have been doing all these things as social services. But now, you are going to pay for them. Because if we tell you the amount of money contractors spend every day on diesel to go and carry all these things, and then workers and the rest of them, you will marvel. And the contractors will be paid. There's something somebody said, which we are going to do in the second stage. Now government or Aswama is managing dump sites, the
common dump sites.
Common dump sites. Mm-hmm. Now, what we intend to do is that those dump sites will be concessioned out. And then the people managing the dump sites will be paying to government. Now government is paying to manage it with sums of money. Mm-hmm. But what we intend to do is that we give it to people who will now be paying government. They will not go to do whatever that guy has said, collecting refuse and then recycling and selling, and but paying to government. They will take their money and government will take its own. Yes.
That's the second stage, but you're not doing that yet now.
What we are doing now is an emergency thing to clear everything so that if you are traveling along the road, you don't see any. Then we go to house. Then the other stage is now on this recycling. So we know what we are doing.
All right. So just before we go this morning, I would like you to give a word of advice to the Anambra, especially when it concerns to what we are discussing today, waste management.
Well, Anambra people, my own people, please see the waste as an enemy to us. It's a big enemy that we are suffering from cholera, typhoid, and dysentery, and diarrhea, and rest of them. It's because we are living in an unhygienic environment. So this is just to make us live longer. Because if you pay, like households pay 1,200 per annum, is it 1,200 naira that will be crying? 1,200 per annum, not 1 month. So with 1,200 naira, you save yourself from going to buy Amatem every month. Because some people drink Amatem every month, malaria, and then diarrhea, and then so many other things. So many children die of diarrhea because of unsanitary conditions. If you go to urban area like Onitsha, you see so many unsightly environments where people live. So this is what we want to engage ourselves now and make sure that those places will be like those where human beings live.
And then we want to say a very big thank you to you, Dr. Ima Ezenwaji, the Chairman, Governing Board, Anambra State Waste Management Agency, ASWAMA. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Well, you had it all from the boss himself, talking about waste management in Anambra State. You've seen that this present administration is on the move to make sure that Anambra State remains the cleanest and the safest in Nigeria. So it's now left for you to do your own deal, bit of the deal rather. Thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. My name is Chidima Orangwa. See you again next week. Bye. Enjoy your weekend.
Waist beads are a traditional African accessory that consists of small glass beads on a string or wire worn around the waist or hips. They are also referred to as belly beads, waistline beads, or beaded waist chains. It has been named according to the tribes wearing them. In northern Nigeria, it is called jigida, while the Yorubas refer to it as bebedi. Waist beads are often worn by African women, and it holds certain fascination for many. The beautiful stream of color blending could be one of the reasons for this fascination, or the way a woman's lower body moves when this ornament is worn could be another. In Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, and other